back to a new video. It is May 15th and Hayden has made his way out to Utah here, so we're gonna do some herping, hopefully get him some finds that he hasn't seen before since it's his first time herping Utah. But I figured I'd start a new video since we're just gonna be grinding a lot the next couple days, so we'll see what we can turn up. We're gonna go night cruise tonight and then do some hiking tomorrow, and we'll see what we get. Okay, first snake of the trip here is this juvenile gopher snake. So we got to see a couple of these, or at least I did with some buddies last night. But this is obviously Hayden's first one in Utah, first snake in Utah, right?
Yes, sir.
And some nice, kind of more pale, light brown coloration throughout the middle. But we're on the board. Hopefully it keeps up. Well, hopefully the wind isn't too windy right now or even for the rest of tonight, but we hit a spot where me and Aiden have seen one of these in the past very quickly, kind of at sunset, and I have never been here other than that short time, and we get here within 2 minutes, hike up this dude. So definitely not a bad spot here considering the very limited amount of time that has been hiked at this spot. So we still got a little bit of sun. We got this guy to start, a little juvenile desert horned lizard with some nice pinkish orange or more red coloration there. Maybe we'll hike up another one, but at the very least Hayden's lifer right here, and just a cool lizard to find nonetheless. Okay, it is just finally gotten dark. It's about 9:10, and first snake cruise is the Sonora. Hayden's first in Utah. I guess I probably don't need to say that anymore because all these snakes will be his first in Utah. But some really nice orange on the top of this guy that kind of covers a lot of the top. It goes a lot wider than normal, but we'll get him off. This is actually the first Sonora I think that I've cruised down here live. Some Fostorials you'll cruise a lot more often compared to flipping, like Tantilla and line snakes. You can cruise a ton, but Sonora are definitely cruised less commonly for how common they are. All right, guys, it is 10 minutes after that ground snake, maybe a little bit more now that we've photographed it, but we just cruised up on a California king snake. As you guys know from the last video and from any video where you've seen me and Cali Kings, I absolutely love them. Any type of king snake, milk snake, I am a huge fan, and just seeing this guy in the road, immediately knowing what it was so cool. So this is my fourth one that I've got in southern Utah, and the biggest one so far, probably about two feet long or so. But I mean, Hayden holding it right there.
It's pretty big.
Yeah, 2.5 maybe, but just seeing that on the road is so amazing. This is Hayden's second Cali King ever. But we're just gonna let it go. And so far, this is the highlight of my night out. But it's kind of crazy. We got one last night too, me and my Utah buddies, and then just tonight, a similar area. This guy crossing the road. But we're just gonna watch it kind of crawl off into the brush here. Okay, so we haven't seen much in a while, but we decided to, finish out with maybe one more pass. It's a little after midnight. And temps actually still aren't too cold, but we just cruised up on this Mojave Desert Sidewinder. Nice light brown one right here, juvenile. He was just sitting in the road. We got a whole bunch of pictures before he moved at all, and then just started moving his head a little bit. We could tell he's about to book it, and was moving pretty fast a second ago. We just kind of slowed down, but so glad that we could get this guy out. Lifer for Hayden, I have only seen one of these this year so far. We're probably going to target some Sidewinders tomorrow morning, but go for a different looking area for them. But we'll see what happens, but glad that we could get this guy. It's been a really successful night. Okay, y'all, it is the next morning. Like I said last night, me and Hayden are doing some sidewindering, and we just found this nice big set of tracks here. So we're gonna see if we can find the actual snake, but it definitely is looking pretty good right here. Okay, y'all, so me and Hayden, as I showed you earlier, hiking around the dunes here, and those tracks led to the Sidewinder. Now it's about an hour and a half after we found those tracks, because the first time we saw the Sidewinder, it was barely coming out of its hole. It saw us and just dipped immediately. So we had to leave, hiked around for a while, didn't see anything else, but we came back and you can just see in situ right here is this desert Sidewinder just sitting at the bottom. A little bit of pink coloration, not too much, but he is absolutely huge, as you can see. I might show one more quick clip after this. Once we might get it out of the bush for some better pictures, but just seeing it sitting there is so cool, and just a huge Sidewinder. Okay, completely new area. Me and Hayden doing some hiking here, and first snake is the striped whip snake. It is a little bit warmer than we were hoping for, especially for some of our targets, but these guys will be out all day here no matter what. But we at least are on the board with the snake. Hayden's second ever striped whip snake and first one of the trip, so adding to that species count. Going pretty well so far, but decent sized whip snake, and thankfully he was not one to get away from us. Okay, snake number 2, another striped whip snake. This one's a little bit bigger and has some really nice coloration. You can kind of see those stripes running down the side have a pretty heavy orange tint to it, which is really cool to see. And then definitely a brighter red on the bottom of the tail there. But these guys super fast. Thankfully we were able to surround this one and get a hold of it. But we actually lost another one that just booked it down a hill. But we're getting destroyed by flies. We're gonna let this guy go, and maybe we'll hike up something else. The second we released that whip snake, I got megged by a sagebrush lizard, and then Hayden was able to get a hold of one right here. But nice black splotch in there on the side. Okay, Hayden just met up with me and Hayden as well. But I was hiking along, all of a sudden I just hear Hayden with some excited yelling, and he stumbled upon this Utah mountain king snake, which is exactly what we were hiking here for. As mentioned earlier, we got some of those whip snakes. Little worried about it being too warm for some of these guys, but with a little bit of higher elevation, got a little bit cooler, and there's enough shaded areas going on here that they're kind of in and out of the sun and then can chill in the shade as needed. But he definitely feels kind of warm, but so excited about this. This is Hayden's lifer, my first of the year, and I'm just loving Utah May herping right now. First time gonna be in Utah from May, June, July, and August, and it has been really nice so far. But beautiful coloration. You can see near the tail turns to just a lot more kind of black banding with less red, but this guy's even slightly in shed and he's still just stunning. So it's actually it's probably impossible to miss with these guys. They're all just beautiful snakes. All right, we got Hayden, we got Aiden. We're hiking this wash. Kind of took a lot longer than I thought it would have, but thankfully we finally pulled up on this Mojave Desert Tortoise just walking in the wash. We're gonna get back in a second so we can just watch it keep on walking around and stuff. But Aiden's first in Utah, and then Hayden's lifer, so definitely a good area for him here, and fun just to see them chill, eating food and walking around. So we'll probably sit back. Hayden will get some camera shots as we just kind of watch this guy walk around. So we considered that hike a success after being able to pull that gopher tortoise, which was kind of the main target, and always got these guys in the back of my mind hiking around, but a lot of times, most of the time it doesn't happen. But thankfully we just found this red coach whip, saw it kind of dart into a bush, surrounded the bush, and then was able to get a hand on it. So we had some good teamwork. This guy has some really cool coloration. It's gonna be hard for it to kind of show on camera, but it's like yellow greenish almost on the sides, and then more red on top, red pinkish salmon stomach. But he was super feisty at first. I got bit plenty of times, and then since then he's chilled out a lot, just hanging out. But I'm so glad to finally get this lifer. I've seen too many dead ones. Only have had actually one live one get away from me, so not a bad record going 1 for 2 right here. But glad we could get this guy. We're gonna pass him off to Hayden so he can get some photos. Hey y'all, it's a bit after midnight, and just been seeing DORs, not even a ton. It has been super slow, but we finally got a snake tonight, not getting skunked, which means this was definitely worth our time. And here we have another Mojave Desert Sidewinder. So this is the third one we've seen in the last day or so, which makes this one the most encountered snake species of the trip so far. I guess tied for whip snake, but one of them got away, so that doesn't really count. So cool we could get this guy. This one's even smaller than the first one yesterday. Just a little juvenile here. And when you see a Sidewinder in the road, because of the way they're sitting and their shape, you just know exactly what it is. So cool we could get this guy, not skunked for tonight. If we get someone else, that would be a treasure. If not, it's all good.